New tonight, revelations from Forsyth County Sheriff Bobby Kimbrough about the death of an inmate. Earlier this month, his office held a news conference about the December death of John Neville. We recently learned his cause of death and the manner in which he was handled after a medical emergency. Tonight, in an exclusive one-on-one interview, we're getting more insight about who actually sounded the alarm to dig deeper into the case. Talitha Vickers had a candid conversation with the sheriff, who says allegations from protesters accusing his office of a cover-up is the furthest thing from the truth.
Sheriff Kimbrough, so many people have been asking questions about what has transpired with your department in relation to Mr. Neville. And my question to you is, how did this even come to light? Was it another inmate who brought this up? Was it another deputy? How was this brought to light? And the reason why I'm asking is because so many people have questions. Why did it take so long? Where did this information come from? How come we didn't know about it? Who raised the red flag and said something isn't right here?
I think what people, either they're not listening to what I've said and what we've said from the beginning, is that this office initiated this investigation.
It's an investigation into these 5 Forsyth County detention officers and a nurse to dig deeper into how they handled a medical situation and their actions that eventually led to the death of inmate John Neville on December 4th, 2019.
Sheriff Kimbrough, when you say we notified them, who specifically? Was it another deputy? Like, how did this come to light? Because people have questions. Who raised the red flag and said something's not right?
I told my IA officials, notify the SBI.
So it was you.
Period. Notify, contact the SBI and let them handle this. Period. If we were trying to cover that up, I would have said, hey, we're going to conduct the investigation ourselves. We're not going to notify them. That's not who I am. That's not who we are.
By law, if an inmate dies, the sheriff's office must contact the medical examiner, the coroner's office, and file a written report to local and district health directors, along with the Secretary of Health and Human Services. The statute does not state that the SBI must be contacted.
We contact the SBI. If you're trying to cover up something, anybody know you don't call the SBI, because they're going to make every page turn every page, period.
Folks are being taken from us very early, much too soon in avoidable situations. So we need that same energy that was brought out to protest the deaths and murders of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd to protest what happened here in our own detention center.
Brittany Battle has been organizing demonstrations asking for more answers from the DA and Sheriff Kimbrough. He says he has nothing to hide. He will remain transparent while also respecting the wishes of John Neville's family.
And here's the other piece. If you were at the press conference, the family hugged me. How many times in situations like this have you ever seen the family hug the law enforcement officials? Never. They hug me because we have done the right thing. We have been transparent with them. Everything that have been asked of us, we have done that.
And one thing that has been asked, I believe, from what the family was saying, is to not release the video, correct?
And here's what I told the attorneys involved when my question was asked to me on the hearing next week. Whatever their wishes are, I will honor them. But I don't have the authority personally to open up and turn anything over. There is a manslaughter investigation now that the district attorney is handling, okay? So I have been forthright, open, everything that I've been able legally to do and talk about. I have done that.
All right, that was our Talitha Vickers reporting. Many have asked why it took 7 months for details about Neville's death to come out. Sheriff Kimbrough said that they could not file charges against the people involved until they had a cause of death from the medical examiner. They also needed to make sure that they had enough evidence from the SBI's investigation to file charges.